Everybody, it's the Below Average Tanker. Got some what I've found to be probably one of the funnest modes in World of Tanks. This is the new Team Battle mode setup. Me and my buddies have had a great time with this. This is something that we've been looking forward to for a long time now. The ability to play the game with each other instead of just a three-man platoon is just amazing for us. We've got about 5 to 7 or 8 guys that usually try to play together, and we jump around from platoon to platoon, never really getting to play with each other unless you accidentally got in the same match. But the team battle mode has fixed that for us. Not only that, but it's added the ability for us to control the outcome, so to speak, not only in individual play, but with our tactics. As you can see, the battle here now, it was a 56% chance to win, which usually, to be honest with you, the team battles we've had, I've seen as low as 6% chance. As you can tell, according to XVM, none of us are great players by any stretch of the imagination. We're all just everyday players that, we get on and have a good time. And that's pretty much what it's all about for us. We're not going to be the unicorn player that, we'd like to be. I'll put it that way. But it's fun for us, and this team battle mode, they hit a home run with this. This is great. Now, I've got 3 gameplays for you here where we actually win, and I do pretty good on. Now, I'm going to try to put a video up maybe the next day or so that shows where we don't do so well. And our tactic on this was Kilogram in his IS-6. He decides to go down the western flank by itself. And the IS-6 has great spaced armor. So from a distance, he's going to have a better shot than any of our tanks, except for maybe the 112. Of detecting people and bouncing shots. And the IS-6 does have the limited radio, but see, we're staying in pretty good range with him. You see the enemy team here, they had a KV-4 spotted there on the western flank, and he starts to come back across the map for some reason. But he's down in a dip below the KV-4, and he doesn't get spotted. And we take out the low on this side, or the Lorve, however you want to pronounce it. As you can see now, that one of the KV-4s has been spotted. And it turns out there's 2 KV-4s in that corner. It's probably a typical plan for a KV-4, very slow, but really a good tank, but very slow in this kind of matchup. Our setup, as you can see, I'm in the IS-3. Carter is in a 112. Dark Spectre is in his VK. Sags is in his FCM 50-ton, and Kilogram is in his IS-6. We don't have none of our other buddies on, so we don't have the tier 1 scouts here that you typically see in this kind of setup with the 5 tier 8s. We just locked our slots here, and this shot here just amazes me. This KV-4 goes away. I shoot. He comes back and he's on fire. Totally lucky shot there. And as you can see, Kilograms moved up closer against the wall of the train rail, and Carter and Dark Spectre are starting to try to move up on the other railroad track to come in contact with the other tanks. And to be honest, none of us were worried about the E-25 as far as encountering him, because even with the fast rate of fire, the armor on our tanks are pretty decent, except for the FCM 50-ton, and that's about it. The rest of us could pretty much probably handle the E-25 to a certain extent, unless he gets around behind us. The E-25 did bother us with possibly him capping, so that's why me and Sags are staying back a little bit, so him with a much faster tank, he could reset the cap if necessary. And you see Kilogram still trucking along there. He's been using those the terrain to mask yourself, and Dark Spectre and Carter had pulled over the train track there, and unfortunately they got wiped out. The KV4 still, one of the KV4s is still up and running, and the enemy IS-3 is backed itself down the corner. So me and Sags decided to try to kind of outmaneuver this guy. Sags is going to hit the tracks, and I'm going to go straight at him here using the good frontal tank armor of the IS-3. We know the KV-4 is still kind of off to the west. Kilogram's going to move up with us here a little bit. Luckily, we get this IS-3. He's fires and he bounces off me, luckily. And then, unfortunately, I can't get a shot on him here that's going to do any good. So I'd pull up over the hill. A little better angle on popping. Sags gets in with his FCM. And now the KV-4 is going to bear. Kilogram starts to move in a little bit, trying to get some long shots on us. Long shots on these guys for us. Now we decide that the E-25, he gets spotted. He's headed to our cap, so we know we can't outrace him back to cap, and we got to deal with this KV-4. So we just decide to move into the base. There's 3 of us down here, 1 KV-4. We figure we got to cap the base in order to win this match. KV-4, I can't tell what gun he's using. I know he doesn't have the top turret, but if he has the KV-3 gun, the rate of fire is going to be really slow. But if he's got the KV-4 gun, the 107, then he's got a good rate of fire with a good, decent amount of damage. But he's setting out in the open here, and I think Kilogram picks him off finally there. Planet Sags. Oh, Planet Sags gets him. So basically, we just cap out the match here. There's no point in us trying to chase around the E-25. It was a good game, you know, and we was slated to win according to XVM on our stats, but it's I gotta say, the team battle mode, I can't say good enough about it. It's interesting, you know, a lot of people do the 5 tier 8s and 2 tier 1s, but we've played a lot of these matches, and we've run across all kinds of crazy configurations. People trying to run tier 6s against tier 8s and stuff. You know, we would like to be able to run all 7 guys. We could get in there in something that's actually fun to play, but it's just kind of hard to, you know, to know that you're going to be able to fight the battle out. This match here, you can see Dark Spectre is in his Indian Panzer now, and our gameplay, we don't have a set person to set the tactics up. We just kind of just roll with it. Whoever throws out a good idea at the beginning of the matches, that's what we normally do. So Dark Spectre, he rushes up the east flank there, and if he hits a contact, what we're planning on doing is running down the west road here on the 1 line. But no, here the enemy team had the same idea. This guy doesn't spot me, and for some reason he's just YOLOing across into the middle. I pop him for a good one. And I got really lucky here at this position. I'm on the enemy's flank, and they, for some reason, keep pushing across the map. I don't know if they keep lose viz on me or what, but this is the perfect position. As you can see, my teammates are in the lower left corner there, and they see the Centurion 1 and the T1 tier 1 headed towards the base. So the plan now over the TeamSpeak was, I'll hold this street, you guys head towards the base to hold it off. And luckily the 3 tanks that are locked down here at this corner are afraid to come out, because I'm sitting there with perfect side shots on them. If they decide to come out, I'm just worried that I'm going to get flanked around on behind the street, which I didn't understand why they didn't do that, but they didn't. They could have had me easily. I don't know if they thought there was another guy there with me or what. As you can see, Dark Spectre is on the enemy cap. The enemy team sends back their Centurion 1 to try to deal with him, but the Centurion 1 was down to roughly 47% health on his way back or something like that. So our 3 other heavy swarm the cap circle, take out the tier 1s, and this is where I make a big mistake. I got ammo rack there once, and I'm worried that somebody's coming around behind, so I think, well, I'll swing around to protect, and then the T-34 comes up, ammo racks me again. The enemy IS-3 there comes up, takes me out. As you can see, we got the IS-3 here down to 75%. The T-32 is 50-some%, and all our guys are still in good shape. This was a good team battle here because it was it wasn't like we had a masterful plan or anything, but we stuck with our plan, and it worked out pretty well. When we first started playing these team battle modes, it was crazy because we just did whatever. I mean, we didn't really have a set leader or anything. We was just throwing out ideas, and we would just do it, and we was trying to play it like play the game like the random battle modes where, we was trying to break ourselves up and travel in a line and all these things, and it was just disastrous. One thing we did do, one of my buddies, Jimmy Nuts, he said he had a dream of a battle plan. We decided to, instead of, because we know we're not all great players at World of Tanks, so we decided to sort of stay close to base but not camp, but spread our lines out horizontal instead of vertical. That way we could react to each other if enemies come in. This map here, we usually use the same tactic here. We don't try to take the hill because none of us are in very fast tanks, and we're up against a 30% win chance here on mines. But as you can see, we're got a 1390 and a 1375, so they definitely got the speed advantage on us. They also have a little tier 3 scout, but they have 2 Tiger 2s and an IS, so they got some firepower and some armor too. So at the beginning of the match there, as you can see, I told IS Sags to stay back at the rock there where he's at to defend our rear in case those AMX decide to come off the hill or around the hill and come up behind us, so the rest of us can just slug it out up here at on the hill. The Tiger 2, the other Tiger 2 has popped up on the western side of the map, so the consensus for the team is that we'll try to deal with these guys the best we can up here until the Tiger 2 gets into range for the rest of us. And the plan was for someone to hold the hill, hold the IS and the other Tiger 2, while the others drop back and defend our rear from the AMXs and the other Tiger 2. And we happen to have a tier 1 in this match, Beef Man here. He doesn't play it quite like the tier 1s that you see normally. He actually gets up in the action. Now, he knows he ain't going to penetrate, but he gets up in there and he goes off with his cannon shooting at these guys. And I don't know if you guys have been hit by these cannons and stuff, by these little tanks, especially when they're rapid fire, and the flashes and stuff from it may distract you a little bit, but he doesn't last too long in the battle, but he's a interesting distraction. Now, as you can see, the IS and the Tiger 2, I'm holding them here at the rocks. For some reason, they're not trying to take shots at me. I know they got the back ends of the teammates, so I'm trying to get in a position to where when they pop out to try to shoot, I got a shot on them to try to keep my buddies safe. They're dealing with the Tiger 2 and the AMXs. The AMXs are circling them. They're having an okay time with it. The 1390, he loops all the way around the hill, the center hill here. You'll see it in a second. This was a fun match because, well, you'll see when we get to the end here what's going on. The Tiger 2 here, I've been hit several times. I'm down to 500 health. They've dealt with the Tiger 2 in the back. Unfortunately, the IS is still on 100%, and our guys on the back there, they're all down pretty low. I think even Kilograms down to like 5% health or maybe a little less. So at this time he's trying to head back towards the base, I guess, just to try to find more cover for himself with that big cannon. It'd be good to keep him and the T-34 in the match, but he gets clipped here in just a minute by the IS. While the IS focuses on him with 4% hit points left, instead of worrying about the IS-3 right in his face, I don't understand. Right here, Kilograms going up the hill. The IS turns, boom, shoots him 51 points of damage. I mean, and I was able to get a shot on him for that. I mean, that's just, I'm not saying that, that's bad gameplay on his part, but I would think I'd be worried about the IS-3 in my face versus a T-34. Right here, Dark Specters come back up to support me. Carter's still up in the back, and now the edge, as you can see, now he reappears. I'm sure he's reloaded. Takes Dark Spectre out, and then he heads after Carter. I've fired here, so I decided I'm just going to try to ram him and do something to him to slow him down. Luckily, I ram him, it takes his track off, and I'm able to get some shots in on him. He must have used all his clip, and we finished the game out here hopefully with relative ease because he's reloading. If he had had 2 or 3 more shots left, I might have been in trouble, but. And as you can see, XCM, I finished with 3,300 damage there. And here's some team scores for this match. 75,000 coins, 2,300 experience. Finished on top. Just want to thank everybody for watching. This was great. Team battle mode is awesome. If you haven't done it yet, check it out. Take care.